All right,
Okay,
this
we might have to
is
clip that.
episode two of M Squared podcast. We're starting today.
Two square girls.
That's right, two square girls. We're starting today with predictions for 2021, but we'll start with just predictions for the next week or so. So Black Friday's over. That was an interesting COVID Black Friday experience.
Did you go
And
anywhere?
I did not. I stayed in my little hermit cage until today, and then I finally went grocery shopping. But I did succumb to some online shopping, and that's just how it is. So I'm gonna be expecting packages all next week. So that'll be fun. I'll get to find out what I bought.
I didn't buy anything this Black Friday, but I did do some early Black Friday shopping. And yeah, that was nice. There's been some great sales.
Yeah, we talked about this, how Black Friday starts earlier and earlier every year. It's like Christmas decorations in September. Like, it's the worst.
It's how they play Christmas music in November.
Exactly. It's no good. So our prediction for the upcoming we were just talking about lettuce and how there's an E. coli breakout again in romaine lettuce. So I'm gonna start predicting other food products that will have outbreaks.
So items that are actually put under, like when you go to the grocery store in the produce section and they have like the thunderstorm and then it's like spraying like water on all of the produce. That is a like nidus to breed bacteria.
You know what they should do is they should put the COVID vaccine inside that spray. And then that'll offset all the E. coli, right? That's how vaccines work. It'll just,
you could just put antibiotics in it, and then that would kind of cancel it out. But then you would have antibiotic covered food.
Well, I mean, that's for all the people who don't believe in vaccines. We just have to trick them into taking them. And that's one way to do it, by filling that spray with vaccine / antibacterial. So that's one of my predictions. That's the government's working on that, or maybe not even the government, but one of those companies that's developing the vaccine will partner with one of these things. And yeah,
they should when people drive through drive-thrus, they should spray them with the vaccine, because everyone's going to use the drive-thru to get food right now.
Which drive-thrus though? Because there's different drive-thrus. Here in San Diego, there's a vegan drive-thru place, which, I mean, that's, of course, that would be a thing here.
I would say start with McDonald's and Taco Bell, because a lot of people eat McDonald's and Taco Bell.
Whoa. What about like all the B-list fast food places? Would those places also get the vaccine first? I guess
I'm sure if the government did a contract with these places, they would all make money off of it.
What's something that's really addictive that everybody really likes? We should just
TikTok.
we should put the how are you gonna put a vaccine in TikTok? No, remember last week we were talking about mango jewel pods. So if they made vaccine jewel pods, do you think those would be popular? That's another prediction, that they'll have.
I definitely see that happening, actually.
Can you imagine?
It would also make sense, because you're supposed to inhale it, and COVID you inhale, so it goes together.
That's a good idea. That's one of those things that,
imagine you can just inhale the vaccine and it goes.
And then all of Gen Z will start doing it. So all the marketers will, all the marketing people will get on it. And all of a sudden we don't have a problem anymore, because who's the one, who are the people who are super spreading? The younger generation, like you know, the teens and to all the way through like mid-20s.
All the people
So
who smoke jewels are the spreaders.
yeah, so if we get vaccine in those jewel pods, bam, pandemic over.
You know, we could also, that would be incredible. That would actually be incredible if we could do that. But we should add it to like public places where people really frequent as well.
I mean, that's anywhere really. Like where else would we be able to like spray people down with it? Why not?
I don't know,
That's
Target?
yeah. I don't know. All these yeah, they should have done that's a missed opportunity. They could have done it on Black Friday where everyone wants to get into the stores and it's like, all right, well, they already give you hand sanitizer. You just get the vaccine while you go in.
There
Um
is a country that is going to start requiring the vaccine to travel through its airport or to travel into the country.
a vaccine or a test?
And no, a vaccine. I think it's Sweden. I'm not
Oh.
100% sure. I want to double
Have
check that. But
they
there's a
have
country that's
they
going to mandate the vaccine to be able to enter from the airport.
have they eradicated coronavirus? Because otherwise that's just
And this was kind of
hypocritical.
predicted, though. We knew that this was going to happen and this was going to evolve. So my prediction is in the next month, when the vaccine comes out, there is going to be countries that will mandate vaccination.
Well, remember when they made you take like, well, not remember when, I'm sure they still do, but like the malaria pill and the vaccine. I remember having to take the malaria pill when I was a kid when I traveled, and it was so bitter and gross. And my mom had to like dissolve it in Tang to get me to drink it. And so now I have this like weird thing with Tang where I can't drink it because it reminds me of the malaria pill. I wonder if that's going to happen in some way with the vaccine. Like, will it hurt? Like, are there, is there
It'll
going to be a
pinch. It'll
pill
be like a
form?
flu shot. But the thing
Will
is, it's
they,
going to be like negative 70 degrees Celsius, which is very interesting to think. Like, if it's going to be negative 70 degrees Celsius and then you're putting that into someone's body, how is their body going to, I guess
well,
maybe they'll be
didn't
fine.
they developed one that doesn't need to be at that temperature? I think a different
Oh,
company did, either like Oxford or like some other company.
oh yeah. I
So
think Moderna, or was it, there was a third
yeah,
company.
so it's one of those things where it's just gonna keep. They should have a mango flavored vaccine. That would be, that would be ideal. If they flavored the
Right?
vaccines, everyone would get it. So
And they
I
could let
think
everyone pick their own flavor too.
that's true. You could personalize flavors and share with your friends like that. That again, pandemic over. If that happens, that would be great. Uh, yeah, that's another prediction. They'll have personalized vaccines.
They could
Vaccine
offer
for yeah.
they could offer golden tickets in the vaccines, like Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. But
Ooh,
like
there's
you
an
get a
idea.
vaccine and someone gets like $1,000 or something. Everyone will
Whoa.
take it then.
Yeah. Or I mean, it's one of those things where if you have to convince someone to take a life-saving vaccine, then they'll do it for a lot of like they'll probably do it for anything. Uh, so yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, but we in blessed California, with such educated people around us, have recreated the measles. I
that's
think we
because
need the lottery.
that's because of all of these like new age mommy like anti-vaxxers who think they're like blogs no more than science, which is uncomfortable because uh they're the ones who frequent all of these places that I also frequent. I basically have the life of a like new age like millennial mom because I just go to like yoga classes and juice bars. But
Do you interact with
so
these millennial moms there?
I can't. I don't. I wouldn't want to. I don't exist to these people, which is fine with me. But also, it's confusing because they'll be into like these like new fad diets with like their kale and their chard. And I'm like, well, science technically is backing up your like fad diets. So I don't understand how you don't believe in something that is like also scientific proven. It's like people who pick and choose like what to believe in religion. Like
I think that's
kind of
the one. Yeah,
same
it's
concept.
the same. I agree. It is the same concept.
Yeah, it's so easy to think about, like, you know, when people talk about how they're anti-vaxxers, you know, it makes me wonder, like, are you also against other things that are like, do you not have like a television, like, or like use
they
a
believe
microwave?
the media and propaganda and television, everything is fake. Like the media is completely fake. That's what they believe.
Well,
and so
what about all these things that cause cancer? Like, are they, you know, like that's another prediction. Like, what's the next thing that's going to cause cancer? Because I feel like there's a new thing every month that causes cancer.
I feel like at the point of which, like, the way society has become, that like we try to, you know, people say that you should buy yourself like nice organically made products and everything. The hype comes out from these things because everything that we have around us has some chemical in it that makes it carcinogenic, simply because carcinogenic meaning like it can create tumor and cancer in your body, because some of these things are just of that poor quality, or like they're so harmful. Like, you know, barbecue food and like grilled food, like the reason they tell you to take off all like the black charcoal after you grill or barbecue food is because that black charcoal is actually can cause cancer.
What? That's the best part. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's like saying that smoking causes cancer. No,
Smoking does cause cancer. But that's the thing, a lot of things cause cancer. 40% of your ingredients in your Pantene and your Tresemme over the counter, like Walmart, lower top tier shelf shampoos, have products that contain cancer. Pepsi and Coke contain phosphoric acid, and like we're hooked to it.
That's it. I'm not washing my hair anymore because it'll cause cancer.
I actually had a phase in my life where I gave up washing my hair for the same reason.
What?
Yeah, I try to wash my hair with apple cider vinegar and like aloe vera and use like
I'm sure that smelled great. What did it do anything to your hair? Did it like mess it up?
After 14 days, or like I think I made it like either 14 or 20 days, my hair just was so gross.
Yeah.
That I just washed it. Like I couldn't bear it wasn't smelly. It felt gross on my head, and I couldn't bear that feeling anymore.
Well, people with dreads don't really wash their hair. That's how they get the dreads, right? Isn't that how dreads occur? You like I know a girl who did dreads, but basically you just kind of twist it and turn it until it is.
So they don't rinse it in the water?
Yeah, it's not, you don't wash them until you get the dreads, and then once you have dreads you can wash them. This I assume. I don't know.
I thought they were braided in a certain way, and then they combed out the braids to look like that. I didn't know that.
I don't know. I don't think they comb out the braids, but at the same time, you don't wash your hair when you have dreads, like, for a while. What's the new hair? What's our prediction? What's the new hairstyle gonna be? Because
curly hair is in right now. This whole year, like curls have been in.
Really? Like huge, like Shirley Temple curls, are we saying? Or like what kind of curls?
Maybe it's just me that really wants to get curls. Like really like springy curls.
I'm gonna make a prediction that that mohawks are gonna make a mullets are gonna make a comeback, because people aren't cutting their hair as much, and with mullets, with dudes, you just don't cut your hair, correct? Doesn't it just like stay like long in the back? It looks real ugly, but it might make a comeback.
Rihanna did a mullet look recently, and it looked really good on her.
Everything looks good on Rihanna. Are you kidding me?
That's true. That's true.
Classic. So yeah. So what other predictions do we have for the next? I think
I'm really sad to make this prediction, and I've just kind of cringe at the thought of this prediction. I feel like bell-bottom jeans are coming back in fashion.
Really? Do people? Yeah. do people wear jeans anymore? I thought it was just all like tights, like it's like the space age.
People wear jeans. There was like the mom jeans phase. After mom jeans, there's boyfriend jeans. There's been a lot of straight leg jeans in the past year, I've noticed. So because the straight leg jeans are here, I feel like fashion is very cyclical.
Yeah,
So
and it's like it's well with bell bottoms, like what with I don't think guys would wear bell bottoms. That hasn't been a thing since like the 70s. I think I don't even know if it was a thing then, but with women's fashion, it's basically just whatever you want. Like there's no rules
and I
anymore.
feel like there's been a lot more change in like expression of fashion. Like there's different styles of fashion that you can express yourself in now. Like you can be very preppy and cute, or you can be very e-girl, or you could be like however you want to be. Like I feel like I don't know how to describe, but whatever Billie Eilish's look is, grunge aesthetic.
Billie Eilish is how I dressed in the 90s, like when I was in middle school. That's what that is. That's not even a look. It's just stuff that it was in the closet that you haven't worn in a while. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the like all black aesthetic, which doesn't play well in sunny San Diego because if you wear all black, you just kind of look like you look like you're about to like go on a raid or something or like go rob someone, but
You
or not
should go
even.
for like black shorts, black tank. You just got to upgrade it to
That's
be
true.
sunny San Diego.
That's true. And then I have for some reason a lot of tie-dye, which I never owned before, but now I have like 3 tie-dye shirts and I don't know how.
That's so San Diego.
Is it though? Because I feel like I'm 30. I shouldn't be wearing tie-dye. That's so like I guess I could class up the tie-dye somehow. Which I
Do
don't
you
know
feel like
that's
you've
a
been
thing.
seeing people wear tie-dye around you a lot?
No, I don't know what it is. It's just one of those things where maybe because I like the colors, but not I don't like solids anymore. So I don't know. Maybe it's just my weird aesthetic change. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the tie-dye trend. I think that's making a comeback. I hope that's not a 2021 prediction where tie-dye makes a comeback in a real way.
I
Could
think
be
it
though.
is. I support this prediction. I
Could
could
be
see it
though.
happening.
When are we going to have the age where everyone is wearing the same like spacesuit type material like you see in those futuristic dystopian movies where everyone
When
is
we're in
kind of
space.
it's just kind of like it's just kind of unisex like generic clothing and you know it's like it's like a uniform almost that would be an interesting thing to happen.
The
uh
way you know that this is dystopian is because if you get rid of style and variety, you essentially kill off capitalism.
yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. That would be really that would be beneficial, and then you wouldn't have to worry about what you wear every day, but like, oh, I'll just wear a different colored like unisex jumpsuit and call it a day. So yeah, that would be a
Do
good
you
one too.
do you feel like the attraction scales would change if everyone was wearing the exact same thing? Like all guys, all girls wearing the exact same like outfit?
Yeah, I think that the people would have to have more of a personality because how else would you attract someone? I guess you could still look attract. You could have like a hot bod, and it would still like shine through in your jumpsuit. Um, but I don't know. I think I would assume that all of these jumpsuits are very figure flattering because otherwise no one would wear them. So that's another thing. Okay, that's my prediction for 3021. Everyone will be in unisex gear. Yeah, that's my
But
3021
fitted
prediction.
jumpsuits. I see that playing out.
Yeah,
And then
for
everyone
sure.
decorates them with pins, and that's how like you express yourself.
They decorate them with pins.
Yeah, like little. Have you seen like people have like pins on their like badges or their backpacks?
Oh, that reminds me. do you think safety pins will make a comeback? Do you remember when all these people who were supposed allies wore safety pins to let everyone know that it was a safe space to talk after the 2016 election? And that was, I don't think that's making a comeback. That, I don't know.
I don't think that is either.
What would be the Democratic equivalent of safety pins for like Trump supporters to let them know that they're empathizing with their
guns?
Like squirt guns, like water guns. That would be a good one.
No, they'll have a tattoo of a gun, or it'll be on their shirt, or they'll have their American flag.
No, I mean, you know how when Trump won in 2016, like people wore safety pins to let other people know that they were allies and that it was okay.
Yeah, so Trump people to let them know that they have so Trump people to express their allyship to other Trump people and to prove them like, hey, this is a safe space to cry over the loss of Trump or admit that there's voter election fraud. They'll have their guns and they'll have their American flags, and that's how you'll know. That's how I know it's not a safe space.
Right, but we can't, like Democrats can't, or like, you know, the left can't have the same things. They have to have a symbol that's like not real. Like the safety pins, those went away real quick. Like I don't see anybody with that around anymore. And it was like a big deal for like a week, and then it stopped being a thing, which was very disheartening because I'm like, oh, I guess I don't need any sort of I guess there aren't any allies anymore.
Democrats use what do Democrats use? Pronouns? I feel like that's the thing.
Pronouns?
Everyone was so about how Kamala Harris put her pronouns in her bio.
Oh, right. That was the thing. We had a conversation about that too, about how pronouns are definitely you know, I didn't realize that was like such a thing. And now I see it everywhere now, which is cool, but I think that we should create a whole new pronoun for Trump supporters.
Tree trim.
I was gonna say tray, like you know how it's they and them. It could be tray and trem.
Tray and trem.
Yeah, those trays are like tray. Trey are over there. Let's not go
G's
there.
Or Jim, like for Jesus. G's or Jim.
But I think that's a little too like you know, in terms of that's too like religious oriented. I'm talking about just the whole slew of Trump supporters. They could be Trey and Trem, and then they would have their own pronoun. I think that would be a great thing to add. Yeah, that's solid idea.
Trey and Trem. Okay, let's make it happen. You got to find a Trump supporter and tell them to put them in their bio.
I don't ever want
Magum and Magay and
Magay would be hilarious. That's hilarious.
Magay and Magem.
I mean, I never want to find a Trump supporter. That's something I never want to do. So I don't know about that.
But you're surrounded by so many in San Diego.
I don't know that I am. People are maybe like apolitical, like they're not into politics. It is very stereotypically like sushi and surfing everywhere, although there is like a lot of people who are like in the military or whatever, so it's there's that. But at the same time, like I don't think that there are any more or less. There might be more in like certain areas of NorCal, not the Bay, but in other areas.
I think there's certain areas of San Diego specifically, like certain, like, because, you know, San Diego is so massive.
Yeah, you're probably right. There probably are places where there are more conservatives.
You also have the naval base down there. So you have a lot of like military, like you said.
Yeah, although now that, you know, Biden is going to be president, I'm sure the attitudes will shift a little bit, which is a refreshing change of pace. I didn't realize that people were going to still not concede. Like it's been weeks. Like what do we have? what's our prediction for the inauguration that's coming up on January 20th? Do you think what do you think will happen? I think that Trump is going to go up and take the mic Kanye style from Biden.
I see that happening. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, right? That's a very real possibility, and not one that I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of looking forward to that. That sounds like it would be hilarious.
I think there's gonna just be Trump conceding very nicely, because I mean, he might cry, maybe he'll cry, but
I don't know that he'll cry, but if he does, it's gonna look like Rudy Giuliani's, like his
his hair melting.
Yeah, his hair melting. It'll be Trump's tan melting. His orange tan. Yeah.
I feel like the way that you know that Trump knows that he lost is because he like doesn't show up. If he won, he would definitely be having a lot more rallies everywhere, but he's not having any rallies.
That's a good place to spray COVID, or not spray COVID. He already did that. I mean,
Yeah.
spray the vaccine. That would be a good spot to do that, because yeah, it's much
Where are
needed.
all these Trump supporters going to go now for the next 4 years? Like, that's what I'm confused about. Like, they don't have Trump rallies to go to.
They'll be around. They'll be in your grocery stores, and in your they'll just be hiding. They'll just be back to Undercover Racists, which also is not a TV show like Undercover Boss. Can you imagine a TV show called Undercover Racists?
It's just like filming like normal people everywhere. They're not even that undercover. It's just like one of those interview shows.
It's like
I've been watching so many of those on.
I imagine it like a.
What do you imagine?
I imagine the show being more like a nature documentary show. Now here sits the MAGA Trump supporter, and it's like that would be the show, Undercover Racist. You would just kind of like observe racists in their natural habitat,
filming them from a distance.
Yeah, we'd go to like all of the spots that they're at. I think that would be very short-lived. Like the documentarian would get shot. Like it wouldn't be it just wouldn't work. Like otherwise
it depends on the documentarian, actually. I think if he's not colored, then they might not get shot.
They go undercover and then they start exhibiting racist tendencies.
That's hilarious.
It's like the Trump hat. It's like Harry Potter's sorting hat.
They get declared racist.
Yeah, like, oh, you're in the
converted to racism.
You're in the Caucasian house. Like, yeah, it'd be real weird. That would what about really what do we predict for entertainment next year? What's gonna happen with entertainment?
I predict that sports will come back.
Oh, that's gonna be annoying. I mean, in a big way.
As two people, do you watch any sports, Miriam? I don't watch any sports.
I don't, and I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I understand that it's like a huge money maker and people need it for distractions, etc., etc. There was a like, I don't even know if it's international, but there was like a marble like competition where people just put marbles in various like obstacle courses almost, and then that was like a sport. I'm like, this is a terrible sport. Like, there's no,
and people watch that.
Marbles aren't sentient beings. Like, you can't cheer them on. Like, there's no performance aspect. It's just gravity. Like, what am I cheering on? Gravity? Like, that's not, I don't know. That was.
And people watch that. I can't imagine why anyone else would want to watch that.
It wasn't even normal marble like rolling or whatever. It was like extreme marbling, and I'm like, this isn't why. Like,
were the marbles good looking?
They were marbles. I don't know if they were good. Like, they they look different. They look like marbles. I don't know what marbles are. Aren't they made of like glass or whatever? Like
Yeah,
they
but some are pretty because they have like the swirlies in them.
Yeah, I would assume so. I don't know how that affects their performance. Are there
It doesn't.
they were juicing,
People be thirsting for marbles. You never
right?
know. People have fetishes. Can't judge them.
Yeah.
I feel like next year there will be a rise of more feminine empowered music as well.
Feminine empowered music. What wave of feminism are we in? Because there has been a couple of waves, maybe like the third or fourth, but it's weird because you would think that feminism would do its job in the first couple of waves. Like, how many more waves of this do we have to go through to just get like normal things like what is it? Just
Equal
getting
pay.
paid. Yeah, equal pay. Did you know what country was it that finally started giving out pads and tampons for like free? Did you hear about that?
Norway?
I think so. Was it Norway? It's
Norway or the Netherlands. It's in the UK and it's one of the small countries. But yeah, I saw that. I thought that was actually incredible. I was like, wow, we should have that everywhere.
Yeah,
because,
no, it's
like if you can give condoms for free, you should be able to give pads and tampons for free.
It's Scotland. Scotland made tampons and pads free, or like they're moving towards making them free. Damn, go Scotland.
Moving to Scotland ASAP.
What a concept. Here we have the pink tax, right? Where everything costs more because it's for women, which is such a, like, I mean, I know we did scams last week, but it's such a scam. Like, guys' razors, like disposable razors, are so much cheaper and they work better, but I feel weird walking into like a men's shaving aisle and buying dude razors. I guess people would just think
I use dude razors. I use the Gillette Mac Fusion 5, I think, and it works so much better. Women's razors, like you use 2 of them for one shaving moment.
I use
one of those, right? And it lasts me like a whole month.
I don't know I don't know it's supposed to, but yeah, no, that's my point though, and it's probably cheaper too.
Like, it's supposed to last you a whole month. You're supposed to put it in like the the sterilizing fluid, and it's supposed to last you a month. The packaging said each one is supposed to last you a month, which I found phenomenal.
Yeah, that's nuts because they don't even cost that much. Like, women's razors cost so much and they're flimsy. They're like kind of, they don't last very long at all. Like, it's almost like sometimes it's like a one and done deal if you've waited a while, which I have in this pandemic. So, it's so shitty, the pink tax. So the fact that Scotland made all of their like pads and tampons and stuff like pretty much free. I'm not sure they'll be the best quality, but who cares? Like, in an emergency, it'll do, in a pinch. And especially if you can't afford them, that'll work as well.
I'm sure they'll make menstrual cups free as well if they're gonna make pads and tampons free. And honestly, ever since I switched to a menstrual cup, it's been incredible. Like, I don't even like remember that I'm on my period. I have less cramps. You don't get chafing. You're like, with tampons, by the 4th day, like, things are really dry down there and it's uncomfortable. That doesn't happen.
Right. And it's funny because like you would think that people would have made more comfortable like accoutrements for these things. Like, they're mad uncomfortable sometimes. But I mean,
it's because they're made by men.
True. That's so true. Yeah. No, for real. So my prediction for 2021 is, because America can be so ass backwards about these type of things, they'll raise the price of tampons and pads and make them even more expensive, which
I feel like they just went up in COVID. Like, I went and I bought myself, like, I usually keep pads for like emergency purposes, and then I realized during COVID in the beginning they all got sold out and all the shelves were cleared. So I went back and bought myself like some when they came back in stock, and the price definitely went up by a good few dollars.
It's like gas prices. Anytime gas prices go up, tampon prices go up. Someone should do a study on that to see if they're not even remotely related, but it'd be hilarious if that was the case.
Or if it's related to
Can you
like, I
imagine?
don't know, like chocolates. The cost of chocolates go up. The cost of tampons
Well,
pads go up.
there is a connection there. I mean, I guess, but not with gas. That'd be hilarious.
I wonder if chocolate would do as well if women didn't have periods, like as like a monetary commodity. Would it make as much money if women didn't have periods?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe not. Chocolate. I can see that being a thing. Was there what was the thing that people were afraid was the price was going to go up? Because was it chocolate that the price was going to go up because there's like less being produced? I don't think it was chocolate. It was some other product or some other like substance.
I feel like that happened to a lot of products. So like there was a back shortage of a lot of items in general.
Damn. How is that what was the whole thing with the toilet paper was so weird, and it's it's kind of happening again where like, I mean, cleaning products I kind of get because like, okay, people are cleaning more, so maybe they're using more, but are you really taking more dumps just because you're like at home? Like that, like, did you really use public restrooms that much that it's affecting your toilet paper intake? Like, what's going on with that?
No, people are hoarding,
so
like
weird.
Survival hoarding.
That's so odd. There's nothing has to, that's, I don't know. That's like buying too many. That's like buying up all the rulers. Like, you're not using more rulers in your life than you usually would. So
you can go on like Reddit and see that people have like 10-20 packs of Bounties and the 12 packs of Bounties just sitting in their garage, or like people who are
when you said Bounties, I thought you meant the chocolate, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, was there
paper
a
towels?
Like, are we running out of like shredded coconut? Like, what the hell? Why are people hoarding Bounties?
Because they ran out of Almond Joy.
Oh God. Although I have to say, Almond Joy's like Bounties are far superior to Almond Joy. I don't care what anyone says. I don't
100%. And also, coconut like chocolate candy is good for all those haters out there.
I mean, like maybe they think it's too similar to coconut water, which is gross, and I can't drink that stuff. But my brother mixes coconut water with pomegranate juice, and I'm like, why? That's terrible. You're taking something great.
Good.
It wasn't. I'm sure
I
to
like
him
coconut water and I like pomegranate juice.
But together, one is like tart and the other one is like sweet, but in like an earthy way. So
it balances it out. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I'd have to try it to be sure, but I feel like the two would kind of balance one another out.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan. I'm like, you can just give me straight pomegranate. You don't have to cut it. Like it's like it's a hard substance. Like,
it's really good.
Take it straight.
When you get the pom juice, but it's like mixed with the tea in it, like the white peach iced tea.
Dude, I just bought some of that today. I just got some of that. I like the Arnold Palmer one where it's the tea lemonade. And then I accidentally picked up one of the peach, like the passion peach one. And it was really good. I might get it again. That was a good one. What's 2021? What's going to be the new drink? Like, I feel like it was coconut water for a while. I don't know what it was this year. Maybe like, I don't know. What was it this year that was like big?
I'm not really sure. What were people drinking a lot? I mean, people
White Claws.
That's what I was gonna say. White Claws. But like people were drinking that last year too. Like,
that's true.
White Claw truly.
I would say yeah, the hard seltzer trend was like a thing for a while. So what's it gonna be next year?
And I've noticed there's a lot of like vodka, tequila, lime, like in a can though, like as a seltzer kind of. They've made a lot of those, so maybe that
like cocktails, cocktail in a can kind of thing.
Cocktail in a can.
When COVID first started, people would go to these restaurants just so they could get cocktails, like takeaway cocktails. I'm like, dude, you can just buy the ingredients and then you can have a lot more cocktails.
Exactly.
that
Paying
was kind of like,
$12 to go pick up a drink at a bar that you can't go inside of.
yeah, people were like waiting in lines to get their cocktails. I'm like, what are you doing? You just have to pack it up, take it home. That's going to be really, it's not a very fun drinking experience. So odd.
So you're drinking and driving, or you're just taking
That's,
it home and then drinking? And you're telling me you're really not taking a sip right after someone hands you like a drink in your
yeah,
hand?
exactly. So you're basically just drinking outside a bar at that point. Like, yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I think it's going to be something weird. It's going to be like spiked 7-Eleven Slurpees.
Ooh, that would be good. You know, there's like this Taco Bell that opened up and they served alcohol at that Taco Bell. I think it was in Vegas. I really want to go to that Taco Bell.
I could see that happening in Vegas.
You could have like a Baja like blast from there, freeze, but it would be like filled with alcohol.
What state is it where you could get drive-through drinks? That was like, it was like a thing in a certain state. I forget which one. But
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
you could basically go through the drive-through and get a cocktail and have it in your car, and it wasn't a big deal. Like you needed to keep the straw thingy on, but I don't think anyone did that. So that was a real, yeah, that was a real thing for a while.
That's crazy. That I wonder what happened to like their car accident levels. Did they go up, down? Is there
I
any
don't know what state.
correlation?
I don't know what state this was in. It was probably like a random like one, like Wisconsin or something. Somewhere hella random. Yeah.
What are your predictions for TV next year?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that there's going to be a huge trend of like just people making their own TV shows, like TikToks but longer, and that will be like the new form of entertainment, will just be people making their own content and
Web
viewing
series
that.
are making a comeback.
Yeah, not even like a web series, but it'll be like reality TV, but it'll just be like a bunch of Snapchat like stories in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be like turned into TV shows, or they're gonna do like a mockumentary, like The Office, or like, you know, one of those shows, except it's gonna be all through Snapchat or like all through an app.
Ooh,
Or
they already kind of do that.
yeah, or it'll be since nobody can like get together to make a TV show, it'll just be a bunch of people on green screens like talking to each other and trying
it'll be like the Kardashian episode where it's just like showing everyone on a Zoom call.
Oh man, that'd be terrible. I already hate Zoom calls. I don't want to like also watch them in my free time. That sounds so horrible. Man, what do you think is going to happen to Zoom in the future? Like, I think it's just going to go away, fade into obscurity after.
No, definitely not. It's that like for as long as this pandemic is going on, it'll last. And then if you think about it, no one will ever have a school day again. Like, you know, like, not a school day, like a snow day from school again, because the days
true.
that it's
they'll
going
just
too hard,
turn it into Zoom. Oh, they messed that up for everyone. That's so true. That's going to be such a thing. Yeah. I mean, it's already been revealed that like universities and stuff are like kind of scamming because all of this stuff is online, like thereby showing that most education, it's not needed to go into class. Clearly, if people are, yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm predicting holograms. I think that's what we're gonna turn into. Is it'll be like holographic, and then you can project yourself, or like virtual reality.
Did you see Kim Kardashian's like 40th birthday gift, like her recent birthday that passed, her gift from her husband Kanye West?
Yeah, it was creepy AF, and I can't believe that someone would make that. Why would you make that?
He projected her father saying what they think he would want to say, but when you listen to it, it sounds so Kanye because he goes like, "In my tiny little Benz."
Yeah, I just, that was such a like tone deaf present, because I mean, I don't want to see a hologram of someone that I've lost like talking to me through the voice of somebody, like not even, it's not their words, clearly. It was awkward. That was a
Yeah.
very odd and awkward sentimental present. What do you think is going to be the new like platform that people are going to use? I mean, maybe we haven't heard of it yet, but I think there's going to be another, like, you know, maybe like a different type of TikTok, but it'll have to have like a different take. Like it can't just be the same stuff in order for it to be popular.
I want Yik Yak to make a
Yik
comeback.
Yak?
Do you remember that app?
I don't. What was Yik Yak? That sounds so much more fun than TikTok. I'm not
Is
gonna
like,
lie.
have you ever heard of like Anonymous or like Secret or Whisper? It's like these
Maybe.
anonymous apps that like this. Okay, so Yik Yak was made by like two frat bros at some university in America.
Like any other app, basically.
Yeah, and it's just an anonymous app where you can only talk to people in your area, but you can like say whatever you want, and it's all anonymous. Like no one knows your name or anything, or there's no revealing any information about yourself, and you can't. But people basically are talking about like what, like if you guys live in the same area, you go to the same school, you talk about the same people in that school, or if you go to the same like workplace, or if you go to the same church, you know, or if you live in the same neighborhood.
That sounds like a serial killer's hunting ground. If it's all anonymous, they can just learn everything about everyone and then start stalking them. That sounds awful.
Okay, I didn't think of it like that. Maybe that's why the app left.
People started getting murdered. Yeah, I should think so. I wonder how serial killers are faring in the pandemic, because they don't have their hunting grounds are like gone. Like they can't, who are they gonna, you know what I mean? Like I wonder if anyone's looked into that, if anyone's gotten, people are getting less murdered.
That would be interesting.
Or
to
I guess
see.
less.
That's something that I would want to look
murdered.
Up. Has the murder?
Yeah, like we were talking about school shootings, like maybe murders have gone down too.
We can look it up. That would be crazy. What are your predictions for food next year? Or not food. We can actually, let's do food first, and then I have a good one after that too.
Okay, so food like what's going to be the new popular food?
Yeah, I think chiquitos, or taquitos, like the little tacos.
Oh, I was gonna say, because aren't chiquitos like bananas? Isn't that?
Yeah,
isn't that
that's
like
a chiquita. That's a brand of a banana.
Yeah. Food predictions. I want to say it'll be something that is, since people are home all the time still, it'll I guess like homemade bread kind of made a comeback. Like people started making their own bread during the pandemic, which they wouldn't eat. Like they would just make it, because homemade bread tastes gross for the most part. So like why would you spend money on that to like make it? But people definitely did that. So maybe that's what I'm thinking, like something else that people can like make trendily in their kitchens with their fancy equipment.
Homemade pizza and air fryers made a comeback this year.
Well, yeah, but I think that was more of like, I don't know. I mean, like more of something that people would make that would be like, that would be basically the equivalent of homemade bread. Maybe homemade, let's see. In 2021, what could people make that's useless?
And useless. Homemade ice cream. I could see that making a comeback.
Oh, like churning your own, or making their own butter. Okay, yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. Churning your own butter is gonna make
people make pumpkin butter. They make butter out of everything at this point.
Pumpkin butter, like pumpkin flavored butter, or like butter made out of pumpkins?
I think it's like maple butter, but pumpkin butter.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, but I think it's more like almost jam consistency than a butter consistency.
So they make pumpkin jam, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but they call it pumpkin butter.
Oh, okay.
What do you think is going to be the big place to vacation in 2021?
Ooh, well, if the pandemic's over, then freaking everywhere. It's gonna be like a free for all. People are just gonna be having orgies on the street. Like it's gonna be a big deal. Um, but I would think that it would be like I think private islands are gonna make a comeback. Because especially for the uber rich, and then
Uber rich are already on the private islands. They don't
that's
care about the
true.
pandemic.
That's true. Mars, that's going to be the new vacation destination. Mars,
Yes.
for certain. Maybe that's a 30. That's another 30-21 prediction.
No, I think in the next few years, like that's like gonna
The next
happen.
few years, I don't know
10
about
years.
few years. Maybe the next like decade or two, but I don't know about like the next like couple of years, because they're not just going to have people who are untrained go into space. Like you would die. And also there's nothing up there. Like what? Like you would get so bored so quickly. it would be
They just
like
need to
being in
build like a
quarantine.
Starbucks and a Forever 21 or something
Yo,
like
the
that.
first thing that's going up on the moon is a Starbucks. Like, let's be real.
Right?
Let's keep it 100. Like that's what's
Then a
gonna happen.
McDonald's.
God damn. Say less. Let's go to the moon.
They actually found that like when people go to the moon, they have like a lot of like bone mineral loss. So technically, all these people that want to go to like the moon and space, I just want to know, how are you going to overcome this problem of like people
Yeah,
essentially shrinking over time?
Yeah, their bones melting while they're up there. That sounds terrible. Dear gosh. It's like a horror story. Yeah.
Right. You come back mini size.
What's the next place that people are going to avoid? Like how right now it's
Florida.
Florida. I mean, they do that now.
I can't imagine. I think it's going to be America, to be very honest, because all the other countries did a great job of handling this pandemic.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I think also people are going to avoid. Yeah, that sounds real. People are gonna avoid. Fine, whatever. We don't want you randos here anyway. It's whatever.
Right. You heard you saw how we voted. Do you really want to be amongst us? I wouldn't want to be amongst us.
Yeah. What other?
We should go to Canada. I think Canada is going to be like the new hot spot next year.
What? Why?
Because everyone wants to like visit America, but they can't visit America because it sucks. So they'll go to Canada, which essentially has a lot cooler. It's a lot cooler, no?
I mean, I guess maybe certain parts of it, but that seems real. That seems like a stretch. I still think of, even though Canada is like has better like everything, like better healthcare and everything, like I still think of them as like kind of a joke. Like, how are they faring? They're like right above us, but I bet you anything they're doing way better with their pandemic handling. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. They get paid monthly to sit at home.
The Canada COVID map looks so different from the US COVID map, and it's like so sad because that means it has nothing to do with geography and everything to do with like dumbassery.
Exactly. And like also like abortions are free there. Their healthcare is on point. They're doing great in terms of like how they've been handling it, how they've been strategizing about this.
I guess like it just seems like whenever I think of Canada, like it's always in like a jokey context, but I remember right after the 2016 election, the like Canada, like what was it, like not even the visitor site, but the site where you like apply for like Canadian like citizenship, that website just crashed because so many people were going on it to like go there. I'm like, that's hilarious,
right? But you can just go up to the border and cross the border to Canada. It's not that hard.
But you can't like stay there. They ask you like how long you're staying and like when you're gonna leave. Like where would you go? Like you would have to find a place
to stay in a hotel, and like we're going for vacation.
Yeah, but you would have, like, if you were there for a prolonged amount of time, like you can't just stay. I guess you could stay in an Airbnb, but even then, I don't know. What's gonna be the new Airbnb type thing in 2021? Because it can't stay the same thing. I would assume they've probably taken a hit.
Um,
It'll
I feel
be
like
like
it'll be the same but different name.
different name. It'll be like renting out people's like outdoor, like their porches and shit, like instead of their houses, to make it COVID friendly. Be like, yeah, we're gonna Airbnb the backyard. just hike your tent up there. It's fine.
What do you think was going to happen with the increasing levels of homelessness that we're going to see?
Well, they already tried turning them into Wi-Fi hotspots, and that didn't work. So
wait, what do you mean?
Like in big cities, like in New York and stuff, didn't they give homeless people cell phones to turn them into Wi-Fi hotspots?
Okay, so then how did that help them?
It didn't help them. It was just like
What?
It was just one of those things to increase accessibility to Wi-Fi. So they were
So
just
for the convenience of
outlets.
privileged people, we use underprivileged people as Wi-Fi hotspots.
I mean, yeah, people use underprivileged people to help privileged people all the time. Why not for for hotspots?
I guess that just sounds kind of sad. I mean, but you are giving them a phone. But I mean,
yeah, but what is a homeless person going to do with a phone? They don't have anywhere to charge it. Like they don't have a home. They're not going to be able to do that.
That's true. Where would they charge it? They got to upgrade the benches to add like like in the airports you can go sit at a bench and plug your phone into charge. They should do that everywhere in the city.
Like public benches, make them outlets. People would just never get up there. We would have teenagers just all over on these benches and just on their phones all day, I suppose.
What else are people supposed to do on the benches? They can't sleep on them.
That's true. Let's see what else. We'll do a couple more predictions.
What are your predictions for the rest of this year? We have one more month of this year. What do you predict is going to happen?
True. There's gonna be some like wild shit that happens. I bet you. Like, I don't know. Something's got to happen that will kind of make this year even like more intense than it's already been.
Crazier.
Yeah, it's gonna make it even.
I'm just trying to imagine like what could be wilder than what we've already been through. Like orange skies.
Yeah, we've seen like
I really want to know something that competes with orange skies.
We gotta have like there's gonna be some sort of like twist. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like
some typhoon.
Yeah, or like some conspiracy theory that turns out to be real. Oh, like iPhone's slowing down. That's a real thing that's happening.
Yeah, that is. My phone has been glitching up so much for the past week and a half. Like ever since my sister got a new phone, my phone has been glitching up.
It knows. It knows. Apple knows. They know what's happening. Yeah. No, I think that it'll be. Remember when I forgot what kind of phone it was, but it would like explode when it got too hot. That was insane. That was real.
It was the Samsung Galaxy phone.
Yeah, it would just like randomly explode when it got too hot, or like it would start smoking and catch on fire. That was nuts.
iPhone would bend if you left it too if it got too hot in your pocket or something.
Ooh.
There was also that at the same time, I remember.
We're gonna find out that Teslas give you cancer.
Did you hear about what Elon Musk did with his business this year? How he made like $78 billion. He got $78 billion richer, but he like laid off a lot of his workers and gave everyone like a 10% cut.
That sounds on for him.
Also, he took away like paid leave holiday or something like that. Like he told people that you can go for unpaid leave or paid leave and then fired them.
That sounds very like villainy, megalomaniac, which is on brand for him because that's what he looks like. He's gonna start dating Billie Eilish.
He's dating Grunge, which is like the older version of Billie Eilish.
That's what I mean. Like, it's gonna be like no
Why are people letting
boundaries
him
there.
letting him have so many kids?
They're not letting him do anything. They're not letting him do anything. He just has a lot of money, and when you have a lot of money, you can do whatever you want. So,
but how do you take care of 6 children?
I don't know, bro. I think that. Do you think Bitcoin are gonna make a comeback?
I hope not.
That was like a thing for a while when the bubble burst, but I think there's going to be a new type of cryptocurrency that's not even real. There's going to be a new type of cryptocurrency, and it's just going to be like one person who pretends that it's real and they're scamming everyone.
It'll be like Emoji-Coin, and it'll be like a currency and emojis,
yes.
and it'll depend on how many emojis everyone is using, like which emoji is used more.
Emoji-Coin, and then you can collect different types of emojis and the
and
rare
you trade
ones.
them, and then you trade them based
like,
on like in Christmas people will use the Christmas one more, so you like make more money off the Christmas one at Christmas time.
Yeah, it'll be like Pokemon cards where you're trading with other people to get rare ones and collect them all. It'll be a real emoji-coin. I like that.
We should do that.
That's gonna be the new currency. That'll be the currency of Gen Z, where they're just trading emojis all over the place. That's a good place to have our predictions.
Right.
You know, to complete our predictions for 2021. I don't even know that we covered all that many, but the ones that we did, for sure, hopefully, well, not even hopefully, but probably will happen.
We went through
in
quite
some
a bit.
way. Yeah, and honestly, the stuff that we'll see will probably be even weirder than what we've described.
I think the funniest thing I saw this year is people being like, the WHO is the poo, referring to like the WHO. Like, they're the World Health Organization. They're saving you from your poo, and you're calling them poo.
Yeah, I can't even with that. No, I really think that the one thing that we predicted that will probably come true will be Trump's inauguration, or not Trump's inauguration, Biden's inauguration, and Trump will jump on stage, Kanye style, and take the mic from him and just start monologuing right there. That I think that sounds pretty on par for what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. That would make sense.
And then Kanye will show up and decide that he's the president.
Right. You could do that. And then Melania will finally divorce Trump.
Do you think the Kardashians voted for Kanye? Or actually, do you think the Kardashians voted, period? Like, probably not.
I hope they did. And if they did vote for Kanye, that's fine, because they live in California, and California was going to vote Biden anyways, so.
I guess. It still seems pretty hilarious, though. I
hope they voted for him.
I hope they discover this is totally off the topic, but I hope they discover a new fruit in 2021. I'm so bored with all of the produce that I see already. I want something new.
I want to have more dragon fruit, but I have a prediction for like 2 years from now. I predict that like either 2 years from now or from 4 years from now in some election, Kim is going to run for Congress or Senate or some political position.
On what platform? On her stupid appetite suppressant lollipops? Like, what will she run on?
She has money. She doesn't need money to run on. And she has a social media following. And if Kanye thinks he's going to run in 2020, he's got to have a good first lady backing him. And Kim is ready to be that.
These are such odd things to conceive. It's like when Teen Vogue started doing real hard-hitting journalism. Do you remember that? Like, there was like a time span where they had like some really, really intense articles about like issues of the day, and like newspapers were covering like celebrities, and they were the ones. That was so weird.
This year, celebrities have been very politically involved as well.
That's true. Oh man. All right. I think we've wrapped up our predictions. And of course, M Squared is going to put out a shit ton of podcasts and will be a big success. That's another prediction. That's definitely going to happen.
That's definitely going to happen. That's going to be a great prediction. Speaking that one into existence right now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And then our next episode, we'll be talking about post wokeness.
Post wokeness, like post ironic, but
but worse.
Okay, this was a good podcast. Are we ready for the
so too.
outro?
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys, for another episode of M Squared.
Yep, 2 squared girls signing out.
Okay.